What does high score mean? New high score, is that bad? What does that mean? Should I break it?
Hello everyone and welcome to Veteran Gaming. I am Aaron. Today in Eternal Evolution we're going to put out a basic beginner guide to the classes and how you want to form your teams inside of Eternal Evolution to make sure your account is progressing and you're earning the best rewards possible. The first thing we're going to do when we talk about the classes are what they actually do. So first of all, we have our tanks here, and they are what you think they are. They stand up front, they take a ton of damage, and typically do not put out a ton, although some of them can, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. Vanguard are your hybrids. They take a lot of damage, but they can also put some out, but they don't take as much damage as the tanks or put out as much as Assassin, Hunter, or Energy. Here are the Assassins. They are pretty squishy, but they can do a ton of damage, especially getting to the back row where some of the ranged heroes are pumping out damage. Hunters here are some of those ranged heroes that are pumping out damage. They typically focus single target, and they are ranged. Energy are also ranged, typically at the back, but they do AoE damage. They're going to do less single target, more to areas. Then we got our summoners, which are kind of hybrids. They do a little bit of AoE. They can do some stuns. There is one melee, so they're a little bit of a wild card. Do a little bit of everything. And then we have our support, which are typically healing focused, but they also have some heroes like Rez and Anarutta that can add some different abilities to your teams if you really need to get through a certain event. So now that we've talked about the different classes that are out there, I want to talk about something which might be a little counterintuitive. For Eternal Evolution, you are typically not going to have a team consisting of one tank, one Vanguard, one Energy, one Hunter, and one Healer, or something similar to that. You are going to be making teams with multiple of the same class, and that's because of the command structure and the bonuses you get from commanders. As you can see here, Enlighten is going to be the Summoner commander. Hagridon here is the Vanguard, Gabal the Assassin. And you'll know that because when you click on the buffs here, it says when 3 or more assassins are deployed. For Hagridon, 3 or more vanguards, Enlighten, 3 or more summoners, etc. So you're actually going to have teams composed of multiple of the same class. That way you're getting massive bonuses. So even though you have tank, you're going to put 3 tanks together because then the commander's going to give them a bonus that is going to help them put out more damage. So I'll show you kind of what I'm talking about. If we jump into combat here so I can pull up the teams, you can save these teams and you're basically going to run a Vanguard team, an Assassin team, an Energy, a Hunter, a Summon, tanks. That way you are getting those commander bonuses because that's what's going to help you do damage. It's a little counterintuitive. You're not going to run one tank, one Vanguard because you're going to be missing out on those bonuses from the commander. Now, there are always exceptions, as you can see here in Soul Mine. When you're talking about just your Terrans, just your Atlas, and just your Windfear, you're probably not really going to have a full team of assassins or a full team of tanks to go through some of that content. Although you will also, Windfear can put out 3 Vanguards with Crete, Leo, and Na Fang. So it is possible, it just kind of depends on how you're building your account. But you don't want to space it out. You don't want to find one tank, one Vanguard, one Hunter. You want to try to focus on some of those teams for some of the events, because Sinsaro Marsh here is very energy hero focused. Disa Caves, Hunter, Terradome, Assassin, and that's just in the Lost Valley. Once you get into Katosian Triangle here, all of these, Thunder Cliff, Vanguard, Battlefield of Azura, Tank, Mirage Space, Summoners only. So these are all basically events that are going to take one specific character class, not a bunch of different ones mixed together. So hopefully this makes sense. Like I said, it is a little counterintuitive because you would think you would mix and match, but those commander bonuses are so key that you want to try to focus in on a certain class, build that team all together, whether that's all triple S if you have them or mixing in some elites. So hopefully this guide helps out beginners because I don't want you guys to focus in different areas, spread your focus too much because then your teams aren't going to be able to knock out these all-important events for Katosian Triangle, Lost Valley, even the Endless Battle, these new events that are coming up, because here you have Assassin for Reign of Idar, Spider King Lair is all energy. You want to make sure you're maximizing these events, which means you want all of those heroes in that battle to be of the same class. So again, counterintuitive, but hopefully this guide helps. If it did help, please make sure you hit that thumbs up button, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss upcoming content, and as always, guys, have fun, good luck.
So I got that going for me, which is nice.